gentlemen, the CTDF Fantasy Football Show is on the air once again. Delighted to have you as for making us part of your week. It is getting closer and closer to Super Bowl time, and we only got like 2 weeks left of the season. We got conference championships this Sunday. Then next Sunday after that it's the Pro Bowl, but that's not on my time. And then, of course, we got Super Bowl 54 coming up at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. But right now, I just want to introduce ourselves. Tim McClellan right here. This guy over here is Marty Bingle. This guy
Hi.
over here is Cedric Weatherspoon Jr. And over here is our good friend John Flynn.
Hey.
So, how's everybody doing?
I'm good.
Decent.
Doing pretty good.
A little
Cedric,
tired.
doing all right? All right. Well,
Yeah, a little tired.
tell you what. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Before we get to the games, there's some very noteworthy and newsworthy events that came around the league earlier this week. First thing I want to talk about is two legendary head coaches who were interrupted during their halftime shows by Dave Baker, the president and CEO of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and letting them know that they were going to be a part of the Hall of Fame class of 2020. Of course, I'm talking about the former head coaches Bill Cowher, who, as you may remember, was the great head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And finally, he's getting in Jimmy Johnson, who you may remember as the head coach of my boys right here during the 90s, those big Super Bowl runs they had. Of course, he also coached the Miami Dolphins for a little while in the late 90s. So, what do you think, guys? Bill Cowher, Jimmy Johnson, pretty good selections, huh?
Very good selections. Yep.
And I also want to make a point that it's been overdue for Jimmy Johnson because Jimmy Johnson was the real definition of what a head coach was. Because I can make an argument why he's a top 5 coach of all time because he came in the same time Jerry Jones did with the Cowboys in the late 80s after 29 years with the old ownership with the Cowboys, that there were a lot of question marks with between Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, and they were able to make ends meet. And the first year, the Cowboys went 1-15 under Jimmy Johnson, and then they turned it around and they went on to back championships in '92 and '93. And the way he was able to get that team into a winning culture is something that a lot of coaches envy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I would definitely agree with that. And Bill Cowher, he was successful with the Steelers, I believe. I believe Cowher did win a Super Bowl with the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken.
And I don't
That's
think
right.
and I don't think Cowher gets into the Hall of Fame without that championship, though.
Right.
Probably. And he is one of those coaches that I really did respect. So congratulations to Bill Cowher and Jimmy Johnson for their Hall of Fame selections. Also, this week, two NFL players decided to hang up their cleats and call it a career. The one that kind of expected was tight end Antonio Gates, who played, I think, 16 or 17 years, all with the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers. And probably, I would say it's kind of a shocking retirement, but I think he's thinking about his future health. Luke Kuechly from the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, your thoughts on Antonio Gates or Luke Kuechly? Anybody?
And the thing about Luke Kuechly, because he goes along like a similar path like Andrew Luck and Rob Gronkowski have gone through, that he retires before the age of 30. But I mean, when you look at all the injuries that Luke Kuechly went through with the concussions and all that, it really took a big toll on his body, and like he understood that if he went any further than what he already has been, that chances are he exposed himself to more health risks and would not be pretty. But now when you think about and think about Antonio Gates, he was one of the definitions of reliable that he came up around the same time like Jeremy Shockey and Jason Witten did when they were all young, and he was part of that group that epitomized what an NFL tight end should be, that being able to go in week out, be a reliable security target for Drew Brees and Philip Rivers, so whoever his quarterback was, and log in 1,000 yards a season.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I would say Antonio Gates will probably get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Kuechly, not sure about Kuechly.
Injuries really cost him like a real legitimate chance, though.
Yeah, but I'd say definitely thumbs up for Gates, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I want to wish Antonio and Luke the best of luck for the rest of their lives, and wish them well as they ride off into the sunset. Oh, this news item just came in earlier today. It's been announced that Demi Lovato will be singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl.
Yep, I heard
That's
about that.
right. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. And of course, we probably all know that it's going to be Shakira and J Lo performing at halftime. Once again, the NFL screwed it up.
Well, if you really think about it, it might be another Nipplegate. I mean, you never know. I mean, we all know Shakira can. We all
Okay.
know Shakira's hips. Hey, I'm just saying. Shakira's hips don't
No, you
lie. We
know,
all
no,
know
no,
J
no,
Lo
no.
got that booty.
Mario,
So,
Mario, so J Lo. You can't lie on that.
Well, I would say if they wanted to really do it right, they should have put Kiss in there.
mm,
They should have had Kiss doing
good point.
halftime show.
Yeah,
Tim, you
yeah.
know this
So,
is the
but
NFL,
I
right?
think
This
the
is the type
NFL
of
really
sport.
went away with the rock and roll.
They
Well,
want that main.
yeah,
I
the
mean, you got to
mainstream
think about
stuff
this.
of
They're the guys that fuck this football stuff. We're gonna play. No, we got sicko mode. Let that sink in.
Right, right.
Freaking hockey did it right. Football, pigskins. No, better yet, eat a bag of dicks like
No.
Antonio Brown threw to his baby.
Mm.
well, I guess we all have our opinions. I mean, I'm not really big on J Lo or Shakira or Demi Lovato. I guess you could call me an old timer, but I guess whatever floats their boats. Now, we'll just guess talk about that some other time. But right now, I want to get to our game picks. But before we do that, I want to talk about last week's games. And tell you what, we had wild card weekend. I thought the wildness was over. Nope, came back.
No. Nope.
It was still wild last week. All of us, looks like all of us went with San Francisco over Minnesota. We all, we all, we all got that. We all got that wrong.
Yeah, yeah, the easiest
Yeah.
lock of the century in divisional weekends.
Easy.
Yeah.
And of course, that means that our good friend Nelson Ezra is going to have to wear a 49ers jersey. But my
Yes.
my
That
my
was the
question is,
greatest moment of my life.
does anybody know exactly what jersey he's going to wear and when he's supposed to show it off?
No.
I
No
don't
for
know
neither.
if I don't know if it was specifically said in the deal.
I
So
don't think it was specifically said.
Okay, either I think maybe I mean, even if he shows up wearing a 49er, like a regular T-shirt, like something like this, like
Yeah,
I'm wearing, like I said,
yeah.
49ers on something. I mean, I would count that.
I counted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully I'll find out very soon because I'll pay for that. I I would pay to
Mm,
see Nelson Nezrud
same
wearing a
here.
Yeah.
49er.
Yeah.
Hell, I'd pay more if Nelson Nezrud wore a Cowboys jersey. I'd pay a lot for that.
We gotta
Good
wait
luck
for
on
the
that one.
Vikings to lose to the Cowboys to have
Good luck
Yeah,
on that
that's
one.
The,
true.
the,
for that
the, the
matchup.
Vikings did beat the Cowboys during the regular season, though.
Yes,
Think
that's
about
true.
that.
That's true. So
Shit.
we can't have that right there.
Not yet, anyway.
No, thanks to Miss
Yeah,
And
now they got Mike McCarthy.
right.
but the Cowboys and Vikings do go head to head next season. The Cowboys are going to Minnesota next
Yes.
season.
Mm.
Oh,
They're
that
probably
is
gonna win.
going
Ooh,
to be very interesting once again.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
and
all
go on. And also another thing that I don't think you mentioned yet, Tim, is that the fallout from that Vikings 49ers game is that after the game was over, like 24 hours after the game was over, the Cleveland Browns came in and swooped offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski to be their next head coach. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I can't say it's a big loss for Minnesota because the Vikings did hire Gary Kubiak to be an assistant to Mike Zimmer, so he could easily step in and be the offensive coordinator. But the thing was, the Cleveland Browns, again, fold the franchise,
Fold,
get out of the
fold,
football business, sell
fold.
ice cream, do something else
Sell
because
ice cream.
it was another thing to not hire Josh McDaniels. It's another thing when you panic and you hire the one that was going to the coach that was on the losing end of a playoff game when they play when they're trying to establish themselves as a head coach. So the Cleveland Browns again I think they're bound for another failure of a season. And Kevin Stefanski was not the guy to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And I think you're going to see why early on next season.
I'll just
yeah,
say
and
this point blank:
it's
the
just been
Cleveland
that way.
Browns.
Yeah, go ahead.
The tagline is this: a factory of sadness. That's the Cleveland Browns in a nutshell. It's a factory of sadness.
And
Hell, one of
Kevin
their wide receivers
Stefanski
got
only spent
arrested for
1 year
batting
as
the last
offensive
Sunday
coordinator.
before another did.
It
Yeah,
seems
Jesus.
that has
Yeah,
pretty much been the
that guy.
story since the Browns came back into the league. I swear to you,
Yep.
we all know the definition of the word insanity, right?
Brown.
When you're constantly doing something over and over and over and expecting a different result every time. I
Yep.
swear, if you looked in Webster's dictionary, and if they had a picture to define insanity, I think you would see that Cleveland Browns helmet right there.
Yep.
Hey, there you go.
So best of luck to the Browns there. So as we mentioned,
Butthole.
yeah, the 49ers beat the Vikings by a score of 27-10. And then we had the upset. We had the Tennessee Titans beating the Baltimore Ravens by a score of 28-12. And pretty much all of us picked the Ravens.
Yeah.
That kind of left a little bad taste in my mouth right there. And then the
Yeah.
Sunday game, the Texans and the Chiefs. Oh my lord!
Mm.
I was
Mm.
I was about to
That
change the
was the
channel
wildest
after the
footage.
first. Exactly, it was so
Yeah.
wild. I
Yep.
could not believe my eyes. I switched the channel after the
Right.
first quarter, but then I keep checking
Here
my
comes
tablet.
Kansas
Here
City.
comes Kansas City. They came roaring back like a bat out of hell. and they
Right?
end up
Mhm.
winning.
In
End up
10,
winning. Yeah, it was like 10 game minutes.
Eh,
10 game minutes. They came all the way
yes.
back from what 24-0. They
Yeah.
come back and they end up winning 51-31. And I believe that is the fourth biggest comeback in NFL history.
in the playoffs. Yeah,
Right.
and so but
Yeah.
the thing that really lost the game for me for Houston. So the Texans they were already up 21-0. So then they started the second quarter and they got stopped on third down and then they kicked the field goal to go up 24-0 to play conservatively. So then Kansas City comes back and scores a touchdown like 2 plays later, and then the Texans are forced on a 3-and-out, and they fake the punt on 4th and 5.
On
Are you?
fourth and
No.
4.
No,
No. On a
no.
fourth and I can understand like a
Okay,
fourth
let's
and
play.
one,
Let's play.
fourth and
John, John,
two.
John, 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 John. Here's the thing. There was the one person that was making these calls. B.O.B.
There you
If
go.
you
There
saw
you
the
go.
range
Billy
Yep.
video, you'll know what
O'Brien,
I'm talking about.
Billy
clueless.
You
O'Brien.
are okay. Here's the thought process. If you're a Texans man, you're up 21-0. 4th and 1. Sneaking in first down. Tire out the
Yeah.
defense. Keep the momentum rolling. Have a huge lead
Yep.
first half. Instead,
Yep.
bad. And then it was
A-
all Chiefs.
And the
Yep.
Chiefs
7 straight
knew that
drives.
fake punt
Nothing
was
but
coming.
TDs.
They knew it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah, and
yep.
I'm thinking in my head, you going on 4th and 4 in your own 30? That's
Your
asking to
own
get punched in the mouth for a
30-yard
TD.
line.
And then add insult to injury,
And they did.
their own 30-yard line. Then for their kickoff return, their runner, yeah, he got punched. Ball popped out right into the Chiefs defender's hand.
Yep.
You already know the rest of the results. It was all Travis Kelsey
Yep.
with a bum knee. With a bum knee scoring your ass.
Yes.
Get out of here. He was all over the Johnson. He was all over the Johnson, making him go flaccid. Now Johnson Jr. That's his last name for the Texans. Because of the first half, he got taken out. Oh, he had him all day, all damn day. It was glorious. Now here's hoping the Chiefs do not pull a choke like they did in 2017 against the Titans.
Right.
In
That was
fact,
painful for Mahomes.
2017, right?
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2017 wild card.
2017. That's when.
Yeah, wild card.
Yep.
Yeah, the wild card. That's
Yep.
when. That's when the Chiefs still had Alex Smith.
That's right.
Alex Smith, my bad.
Yeah,
my
that was.
bad.
Yeah, because they had not yet drafted Patrick Mahomes just yet.
Patty Mahomes
Alex
was
Smith.
on the bench and Alex Smith was the quarterback then. So, but
Yeah,
Patty Mahomes
There we go.
started the week prior because Kansas City
right,
had nothing to play for in terms of playoff seeding.
right. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it was 2017 that they drafted Mahomes, but he sat on the bench for a year while Alex
He was
Smith
sitting
was starting.
backup.
And on the backup, Alex Smith was kind of falling apart. So they gave it to Patrick
And next thing you know,
Mahomes,
he
and
got
yep. And I've
he been
not,
killing it ever since.
yeah, yeah, killing, yeah, and not in a good way either.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last game, which pretty much all of us were kind of split down the middle, and we knew this was going to be a good one. Packers defeat the Seahawks 28-23. I was correct, Bingo was correct, and Flynn was correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only game I was forced for. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Really good if.
I was
Yep.
hoping for a rematch, for the rubber match, but I'll wait till next year
Uh-huh.
or next season, I should say.
Yeah. Should Green Bay and Seattle meet again in the playoffs?
Okay, so we now go to this coming Sunday. Championship Sunday is what they call it.
Yeah, that's what I
Yep.
call it.
The conference
Yeah.
championships. And we're going to start with the game that begins at 3:05 Eastern Sunday afternoon.
That's right.
The AFC Championship game, the Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City is picked by 7.5 on this one, according to ESPN. So, Marty, why don't you go ahead and kick this one off, bud?
This one, I gotta be honest. First off, before we get to the picks here, that's what happens in my predictions. We choked last week.
Oh,
Mm-mm-mm. We absolutely choked. Now I gotta be
It was
honest.
bad.
It was bad. And I gotta be perfectly honest. I think the Chiefs are gonna choke too. I really do. I really think the Chiefs are gonna choke. You're going up. Look, you're going up against Derrick Henry. Okay. If the Ravens couldn't stop him, if the Patriots couldn't stop him, then I don't think Kansas City's gonna stop him. I know you got Patrick Mahomes, but you got Ryan Tannehill and you got Derrick Henry. He can't be stopped. He can't be stopped.
Yeah.
I'm going with the upset. My upset of the week. Tennessee Titans over the Kansas City Chiefs. Final score 30-17.
mm,
Interesting.
very, very interesting indeed. Flynn, what do you say?
Yeah, so I was basically back and forth, and but one thing I should have factored into handicapping the Tennessee Baltimore game. If you remember, there was a time where Greg Roman was the San Francisco offensive coordinator with Colin Kaepernick, and Dean Pease was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens. And but Dean Pease is Tennessee's defensive coordinator, and he beat Greg Roman's offense again with a mobile quarterback in Lamar Jackson. But the way to stop Derrick Henry is you need to have a front seven that's committed to stopping the run and forcing Ryan Tannehill to make throws down the field. Granted, Ryan Tannehill's been good when he's been forced to throw all year because he's gotten the help of receivers like AJ Brown and all that. But to go for Baltimore, whose rush defense was the weak link of that defense because Baltimore's secondary their corners were pretty good, but then they couldn't stop the run as a result of their commitments. So when you factor in a Chiefs rush defense that's been very good the last couple of weeks, and I've loved the times I picked them preseason to make the playoffs. I just can't pick against Patty Mahomes right now. I think Andy Reid and he knows there's going to be a lot of pressure, and I know Mike Vrabel. I know Tennessee's well coached, but I can't pick against the Chiefs right now. I think the Chiefs have finally get to the Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years, and I was flipping back and forth, but I'm taking the Chiefs in this one. It's been a tremendous season for the Titans. Even now, kicked my expectations. I think the Chiefs win this game 24-21.
Mm. So we got a 24-21 score from Flynn going with the hometown Chiefs. So Cedric, what do you say, bro?
It's a close one. Both teams have a very powerful offense. Whoever's defense falters first, that's who wins. But I agree with Marty. Derrick Henry was unstoppable. If you can't stop Derrick Henry, you're not going to win. And if history repeats itself like 2017, I think it's going to happen. Titans over the Chiefs, but it's going to be close. 38-35 by a field goal.
Ooh.
38-35 by field goal.
Titans over Chiefs.
Titans over the Chiefs. Cedric's taking the Titans over the Chiefs 38-35. And that is exactly the same score that I've got in this game. I am going 38-35, but I'm picking the Chiefs. I think
Oh,
yes, as
Okay,
great
so we're
as
still.
as as
All right,
great
just
as
let's
great as
put that
Derrick
hope.
Henry is, and believe me, he has been a great running back all year. But I believe this is where the Chiefs' defense is going to hold them. Uh, I could probably still see maybe Derrick Henry getting at least 75, 80 yards rushing. I mean, he is that good. Even on a bad day, he's pretty good. But that Chiefs defense is going to hold up. I hope that Patrick Mahomes, I hope all of them watched the videotape earlier in the week because of all those drop passes that they had early in the game and how they fell behind so early. Hopefully, they've studied that tape. I'm taking Kansas City 38-35.
Yeah, and I also want to make one note on something because this type of matchup reminds me of all those Giants 49ers games back in the 80s that the Niners were the Hollywood style glamorous offense with one of the game's best quarterbacks and elite talent all around at the wide receiver and tight end positions, but the Titans do remind me of those blue collar teams of the Giants of the '80s. That they don't give up the big plays. That they make you earn every yard you got, and it's gonna be the epic clash of philosophies on Championship Sunday in Kansas City.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So, looks like me and Flynn are heading with going with the Chiefs, while Marty and Cedric are going with the Titans. I tell you, whatever happens in this game, whoever comes out on top of this one will have definitely earned it. It is going to be a real good one. And we got another real good one. I think this is probably going to be one of the best championship Sundays we've had in quite some time because the NFC Championship game,
Shoot.
6:40 Eastern,
Hmm.
over on Fox, the Green Bay Packers heading into Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, against the San Francisco 49ers. And just like the previous game, the 49ers are picked by 7.5. So, bingo. What you got to say about this clash?
Hmm. What do I have to say? I think San Francisco's got this. I really do. They came up when they needed to come up last week against Minnesota, and I think they're going to do it again against Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay really stands a chance in this one. I mean, now that the Ravens are out, 49ers
Yeah,
are a
you,
team, the
you,
best team to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So, Marty's going with 49ers. Uh, Flynn, what you got to say?
I'm
I
going
think.
with the San
Oh,
Francisco.
Okay,
I still
it
there.
sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's not.
Marty's coming in
Yeah,
and out a little bit.
there's a nice crap.
I didn't even
Uh,
give a
Yeah,
score. Oh shoot!
I didn't even
It's
get a
Yeah, that's
the
score
fine.
problem I
either.
have with
Yeah.
this
Cut out.
is, I don't think it's gonna be close. It,
Yeah, he cut out. Dang it.
yeah, we lost him.
the,
That was my.
Oh, he's still there. All right, I guess while Bingo
I
is
don't even
thinking
think I
of a
said a
score,
score originally.
No, he didn't say the score.
I
You
didn't
cutting
see
out.
one,
You
but
cutting out.
I'll give you a few
There we go.
minutes to
Should be
think
good.
about it.
Yeah,
But for
yeah.
now, yeah, for now we'll just go to Flynn.
So yeah, I think the 49ers are a better team. I think the defense Green Bay saw last week in Seattle, they were able to expose a lot of different things. But I mean that San Francisco defense, the way it was constructed, the way it's coached by Robert Salah is something to behold. And San Francisco's front seven is outstanding, and San Francisco has been battle tested all season, especially in the second half when they underwent their brutal schedule. Now, unlike the last time the two teams met, where San Francisco literally blew Green Bay out of the water, I think this is going to be a more of a competitive game. I think there's going to be a late pick six of Aaron Rodgers that will seal the deal. And I think the 49ers will go into Super Bowl 54 which would be their 7th Super Bowl appearance. I think the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo, and that talented defense, I think they'll win this game 30-20.
Okay, 30-20. We have that score from Mr. Flynn. Cedric, what do you got on this one?
Say it like this. Both teams' offense are powerful. Weapons. Defense, solid as well. All about who falters first. And seeing how San Francisco literally dominated most teams this regular season and their powerful performance last playoff game, it's going to be close, but San Francisco got this one, but Green Bay is going to make them work for it. 35, San Francisco.
What was the score you had there?
Up 35-30, San Francisco over Green Bay.
35-30. Going with San Francisco there. Hey, Marty, did you have a score on that one? You're going for San Francisco.
Yeah. San Francisco 37-3.
37-23. Okay,
That's right.
37-23.
Okay.
Well, I hate to play a spoiler. I really do.
There it goes.
But I just got this sinking feeling that this could be
Here we go.
Aaron Rodgers. This could be Aaron Rodgers' final shot at really getting a chance for the Super Bowl. And I say that defense is going to beef up. Aaron Rodgers will become that bad man again. And the other guy named Aaron Jones, I believe he could probably go roughshod over that 49er defense, as great as they are. I am going with that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. I'm going with the Packers 31, 49ers 28, which means that I see something very special in the Super Bowl. Since this is the 100th year of the National Football League, I actually see a rematch of the very first Super Bowl.
Damn, I just
That's how
realized
I'm
that
looking at it.
too. He's right.
Yep.
Man, that could happen.
That
I'm
could
seeing.
happen.
Yeah, we started with the great Len Dawson versus the late great Bart Starr, God rest his soul.
Both Hall of Famers.
Yes.
Yep.
And it could come down to probably one of the greatest teacher versus student Super Bowls in recent memory, Aaron Rodgers against Patrick Mahomes. How awesome would that be?
And also remember, we were supposed to have Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes go head-to-head in prime time earlier this season, but Patty Mahomes missed that Sunday night clash because of his knee injury.
He had that.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I give credit to Matt Moore.
Chiefs win.
Yeah, because last time I heard the name Matt Moore, I think he was the backup quarterback in Carolina a few years ago. But he came in and filled in pretty good for Patrick Mahomes. But it looks like Mahomes is healthy. And like I said, I see Kansas City and Green Bay. Flynn sees Kansas City, San Francisco. Cedric and Marty has Tennessee and San Francisco. So this is going to be. This will probably be a championship Sunday you're not going to forget for a long time.
I hope so. I'm here for the entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Same.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
going to be
anything can happen. It's like, did
two
you?
very entertaining. Yes, we're going to have two very entertaining games. I will say that. I don't think there's going to be
All on
any
Sunday.
shortage of excitement in this one.
It's going to
So
be
that's
back and forth.
yeah, yeah. I could see that too with both games actually. So before we close up shop for another week, of course, our next show will recap the conference championships. Won't talk much about the Pro Bowl, but we could talk about the Hall of Fame. We could talk
And
about
the NFL honors.
yes, yes. That's what I was just about to
Yeah.
say. That NFL honors.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Probably give away some postseason awards. Like if we had to make our picks for postseason awards, we could do something like that.
Yes,
That sounds good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Let's get together during the week and kind of
Yep.
brainstorm what we could do for our show next week.
Brainstorm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And hopefully all of you out there, yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you're watching and you're watching. You are yes, I see you too. Yeah, you in the Cowboys shirt. Hey, love you, buddy. Yeah, all of you join us. Join us next week. We're gonna have a very special show. I have a very special recap. We're just we're a little more than 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
can't believe it. I mean, it's just amazing
It's
how
going to get wild.
how quickly this is gone by.
Yeah.
So anyone want to say something? Wait a minute. Hold up a second. Flynn, your latest episode of Hooked on Sports on Spotify. What do you got?
So tomorrow and a good chunk of what I'm probably gonna record tomorrow is gonna be all about the Houston Astros cheating scandal and the sign stealing scandal, the fallout from that, which teams were impacted, where do those teams go from there, how does baseball go from there, and I go all into this, and along with some football conversation, a little bit of basketball conversation in there as well. So, and LSU winning the national championship in dominant fashion.
Yes, congratulations to LSU.
So,
Yes.
probably the greatest season ever
Only
by
one
a
week
by an
before they
FBS
can't
college
have.
football team.
Yeah, give it up, Cedric. LSU
Undefeated
did it.
and Joe Burrow smoking a cigar like a boss.
Yeah, but LSU is
Smoking
losing
a
a
cigar like
lot
a
of
boss,
talent in
too.
the
I got a
draft
boss.
though this year though.
Yes, they
Yeah.
will be. So
Yeah,
that
that's the
that
downside.
could that could affect
But they went
that
on top,
football
though.
program next season. It
I,
could
I mean,
affect
I mean,
them.
Yep.
the recruiting's got to be better because of the culture that Ed Orgeron built in a 2 year span.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If you can persuade a QB to go to your team with 15 pounds of crawfish, I think you're good in my book.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll tip
And
my
that's how Cook Note got
I
his
will
Cook
definitely
Note.
I will definitely tip my hat to that. So that is going to do it for this week's show. Conference Championship Sunday is coming up. I hope everybody enjoys it. Be sure to listen to Hooked on Sports with John Flynn over on Spotify. The new show drops tomorrow. So check it out, y'all. So, on behalf of John Flynn, Marty Bagel, Cedric Witherspoon Jr., my name's Tim McClellan. As always, thank you for joining us. Oh, what's all this pointing around here? This one,
Yeah, it's like
I'll point
You
at
it's
did
them.
like
that at the
a
start of
reverse
the
of your
show.
camera.
It's the
You
worst
started
part.
this sort of show. Where you been?
God.
Okay, so yeah, Cedric over here, Marty over here,
There you go.
Flynn. Oh,
Yeah.
Other
yeah,
way,
Other side.
there you go.
yeah, it's
The
the other way.
camera
it's
facing
it's
It's the
reverse.
confusing with
opposite.
me.
Yes, it's very
You
confusing.
folks
So,
try it at home. See how confusing it is. Trust me.
all right, so
But we're getting
why
it.
don't
We're
we?
getting it. We're getting it better, folks.
We're getting there. We'll
We're
get
getting
it. We'll
better.
get it down by next year.
Yeah, we'll get it down sometime. So before we totally lose our minds, We'll just go ahead, close up shop.
Yeah.
That's Marty. That's Cedric. That's
Yeah.
John. I'm Tim. Thanks for watching. Be a good sport. See ya.
Bye.